One Fight Night 27 takes place this Saturday, 11th of January at 3 a.m. South African time, live on Prime Video as well as YouTube. It is Tang Kai taking on Akbar Abdullaev for the featherweight strap, and all this and more in Fighting with Friends. Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Fighting with Friends. It's your boy, brother Gaia, back with another fight preview. I won't be doing it alone this time. I do have my one and only, my brother, my boy, the Kid Thomas. Babu, how's it going?
Lineker, man. New intro have me. New intro has me.
You said new intro have me?
I need that to be a bit longer, man.
Okay.
The new intro bangs hard. If it doesn't get you pumped, then you need to check your ears, guys. You need to check your ears.
Nah, liquor, Babu. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just increase the length of that opener for at least, maybe 2 or 3 more seconds, because it does bang hard and it gets us hype as usual here at the Fighting with Friends. But okay, Babu, as always, we're doing our preview. It is Fight Night 27 for ONE Championship. And what can we do? Let's start it off with a banger, obviously, because it's a massive fight card for ONE Championship that's taking place this weekend. And without further ado, I'm gonna hand it over you to take us forward here.
One Fight Night 27, Tang versus Kulabdum on Prime Video. That's the first one we're looking at. First event for ONE this year. Looks like a banger to start us off with. We have a banging for first fight. You know how we do it here at Fighting with Friends. We always start at the top of the card, like Brother A says. And we have Tang Kai versus Akbar Abdullaev. I'll give you a bit of context for both fighters in case you're new to the channel and you're not a ONE Championship fan. Please join the bandwagon. We on here. So Tang Kai is a featherweight MMA champion. He's 28 years old. His current record is 8-0. 3 wins via KO, 2 wins via TKO. He has a 63% finish rate. In the last fight, he's fought Tang Lee twice and Kim Jae Wong. Fight. If you were ONE Championship fight, you know both fighters are staples of the game. And for him to have victories over them, you must know he's a serious contender, somebody to watch out for, climbing the ranks, trying to be a legend in the ONE space. And then he's fighting Akbar Abdullaev, fifth rank featherweight in ONE Championship. He's 27 years old. He's 3-0, 1 by KO, 2 by TKO, 100% finish rate. We love to see 100% finish rate because we are bloodthirsty at the start of the year. A couple of fighters that he's fought is Alil Amir. He won by KO. Please, if you don't know the fighter, please go check out the highlights. Remember the name. And he's also fought Aaron Cantor, and he's won that fight by TKO. Please, it's a bang of a fight. Akbar comes into this with 100% finish rate. We're looking to see if he can continue. But before we go further, Brother Gaia, what do you think? How this fight's going to play out?
Yeah, like a bold up there between two fighters that's going to take this card by storm for sure, because Tang Kai, he's got phenomenal boxing. Before I break it down, I want to first apologize to all of our audiences out there that's been following our page and our channel. You will notice that yesterday I did do a breakdown video of Tang Kai. Unfortunately, a video had to be taken down by YouTube just because of sort of sponsorship deals and things I couldn't really showcase certain sponsorships, and that's for that reason I had to obviously take the video down. But I will just repeat what I was talking about in that video about Tang Kai. And what I was highlighting about him is that he probably has the best boxing in the featherweight division MMA. Hits probably the hardest as well. He's very durable. He's got good conditioning. However, he does lack in the wrestling department. He's not that good of a wrestler. Although he's got a good sprawl game, he does not have the most offensive or even defensive wrestling. And why I'm pointing that out is because I feel in this fight, Akbar Abdullaev is probably going to be the kind of fighter that can actually take him down and beat him up on the ground. Because that's Akbar's forte, as well as a top-class finisher. He does get the knockouts. He hits really hard. Got a very forward momentum kind of pace. You know, the fighters that's fighting out of anywhere in Russia has got that ability to take you down when they want to at will. And for that reason, I almost feel like Akbar has got the exact kind of style and attributes to go and beat someone like Tang Kai, because Tang Kai's got a very wide base in terms of how he stands. He's got a very wide stance, so he overtly relies on his swinging punches. You don't see Tang Kai going forward and pepper out the jabs, set up his right hand, maybe throw a kick or a tip to set up his right hand. What he does is he throws heavy switch low kicks, one at a time, and then he'll kind of feint, walk forward, feint you to a point where he's got you back up in the corner, and then starts throwing some heavy haymakers, almost like Ilia Topuria, but Ilia Topuria has got good combinations, whereas Tang Kai doesn't really throw that many combinations. He just throws either one or two shots, but those one or two shots are coming with ill intentions. And you'll notice he's got quite a few finishes, as well as Akbar's got quite a few finishes. But they're very similar in age. I think there's 1 year apart between the two guys. Both guys like to go and put fights away. They don't really like to go to unanimous decisions. So for that, I think the fight's not going to make the distance. I think it's going to go probably to round 4. And I can see Akbar Abdullaev getting the tap in the 4th round. Even though I'm a Tang Kai fan, I like the way he boxes. I dig his style. But I do feel like he's limited in terms of what he can actually use. And I'm keen to see what he's going to do once he gets taken down or gets clinched by someone like Akbar Abdullaev. So very intriguing matchup. I'm going to put towards Akbar for the 4th round submission finish.
Brother guy, I'm on the other side here. I'm on the Tang Kai side. I think
really?
I think he might just be able to hold the range. You know, one thing that I've learned in ONE Championship is if you have a powerful kick, it can back up any opponent. And that really is the difference between, I think, the Asian athletes in ONE compared to the UFC. Like most of the Asian athletes here throw their leg kicks as jabs, and that leg kicks causes way more damage than what a jab would. And especially like if you're a fighter that looks to go to the ground, that leg kicks does hesitate. Like you're a bit hesitant on the takedown, and you really need to fully commit. Either commit 100% or don't commit at all to the takedown, because if you go in with a 50% like commitment rate, then that leg kick is gonna strike you either on the arm, under your arm, in your rib cage, or it's gonna land on your legs. And they do weigh a hell of a lot. I wanted to swear, but I'm not going to, because we're early in the video and we're trying to be a bit more sensitive.
Yes.
But I'm on Tang Kai's side. I think he gets the job done here. I think I don't think it's going to the 4th. I think in the 3rd, I think he's gonna put that pressure on. I just think his experience inside the ONE Championship is gonna play to his advantage. I think Akbar he's a bit green. I don't know if he can make the leap from 5th rank to champion yet. But I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to see if he can get that 100% finish rate, still keep the train going.
Yeah. It's an intriguing matchup, Babu. It's a hella intriguing matchup. I definitely think the power advantage is going to go to Tang Kai, 100%. I think he's stronger. I think he's got more conditioning, and those are usually one of the attributes that kind of are difficult to beat if someone's got more conditioning than you. Because then you can't out tank them. They're just gonna last longer. But I do think that Akbar Abdullaev he's got the making of doing it, man. It's just a matter of, because Tang Kai throws kicks, but he doesn't throw kicks in the same way we watched like elite strikers throw it. Like I said, Tang Kai's main attributes is his hands. He's a boxer by first trade. That's what he does. That's his bread and butter. His kicks are he's normally like to set people up rather than actually like hurting you with it. So let's see how it goes down. It's a very interesting matchup. Yeah, obviously you and I are on opposite sides of the fence. So let us know in the comments, please. I'll
let us know in the comments. What side are we going? Kazakhstan or China? But to move us forward, we're gonna go to Kulabdam Sor against first John Lineker. John Lineker, a name that we all know out of the UFC. Mr. Hands of Stone there. He comes into this. This is a Bantamweight Muay Thai fight. Just to give a bit of context to both fighters, Kulabdam, 26 years old, 8-5 and 1 no contest. 3 wins via KO, 2 via TKO, 63% finisher rate. Just beat Sue Black in his last fight by KO. So you know he's riding hella high. He does have a loss against Nang O, but then again, Nang O, a legend of the sport.
Legend.
If you know one championship, you need to know Nang O. Man has credentials, and there's no like shame in taking a loss there. And then on the other side we have Mr. Hands of Stone. He's up there in age. He's 34 years old. He comes into one with an 8-2 and 1 no contest. He's won 4 by a KO. His nickname is Hands of Stone. So you must know he hits hard. And then he has a 75% finisher rate. He's just beat Alexia Bakov by KO in his last fight. So he's riding high as well. He's beat Asa Tempao by KO. And you know he's looking for the KO in this one. How do you see this one going, Rosso?
Yo, I think this is the one fight on this card where I don't think it's gonna go past the first round. Or if it does go past the first round, I would be absolutely shocked, to be honest with you. Because both fighters are known for knockout power, finishing fights. Kulabdum, like you mentioned there, the left meteorite. He won me over. The moment I first watched this guy fight Kulabdum, and I think it was about 3 years ago, I was like, yo, this dude is insane. And that time he was still young. I mean, he's only 26. He's still young. But I was amazed to see how he fights as if he's fought like 3,000 fights, bro. He's got such a good way of intelligence of when he's in that ring and how to navigate fighters. He's got so much experience and he's only 26 years old. So, and it's also in Muay Thai, which is amazing. And I think that's going to maybe be at his advantage. However, he's taking on John Lineker, like you said. This is the man, Hands of Stone. He's notorious for just knocking out people left, right, and center. He may be short, but I don't think anyone is as powerful as him when it comes to the Bantamweight division. No one hits as hard as this guy. The only thing that I find strange about John Lineker is that he doesn't use his legs. He doesn't kick. He doesn't tip. He doesn't move left to right. He just darts right forward and he keeps punching as hard as he can. And for most of his career, it helped him win, right? Obviously, in MMA, he lost because people take him down and they submit him. But when it comes to the stand-up game, it really, really you do see him lose. But now I think Kulabdum he's taller. He hits as hard as John Lineker. He's going to be a little bit faster. He's going to use his range. And he kicks a lot more. He kicks a hell of a lot more. He might even just go into a clinch. And then John Lineker can't punch the way you would like to punch. And then they end up in a clinch game. Then what happens? You know what I mean? There's just more tools to Kulabdum for me to win this fight than John Lineker. Even though here at the Fighting with Friends, we don't bet against Brazil. Obviously, we never do this. John Lineker proves why you don't bet against Brazil. But in this fight, I'm going to have to tip towards Kulabdum just because I think he's got a lot more tools in the tool shed to win the fight. Got a lot more angles it can take. Got more avenues to get to the victory, where John Lineker can just knock you out. You know what I mean? He's just going to be this tank. It's going to come forward. He's going to swing to your body, then swing up, swing to the body, and then swing up again. I think if Kulabdum can navigate that, maybe even throw an upward or a downward elbow when they get very close, he could be knocking John Lineker out in this fight. So, ladies and gentlemen, when this fight happens, don't blink. That's all I'm going to say. Don't blink.
One of the things that really stands out from Kulabdum, and if you've watched him fight, is that forward pressure that he has. And one of the things that, like, I think when you see like a Thailand fighter against a Thailand fighter, you see they push the pace. And then when you see other fighters go up against Thailand fighters, you'll notice how that forward pressure of a Thai fighter, as soon as they start walking forward, as soon as they start getting into that rhythm of landing kicks, landing elbows, clinching you, throwing you to the ground. Those things all, it's not as significant in terms of damage, but in terms of your mental, it does break you. And one of the things when you watch Kulabdum is he constantly stays on the forward pressure. John Lineker, he is the shorter man. He's used to working his way in via angles. As brother guy said, like, he doesn't really throw too much leg kicks, so he doesn't keep you at range. But I think that's just something that, like, he's not used to, because he's always, most of the time, the shorter fighter. So he can't really kick you from range. He needs to be like within the clinch or within like very close quarters, and he rather relies on his hands than his legs. one thing that he's gonna have his hands full is Kulabdam's forward pressure, that kicks that's gonna rocket into your rib cage, into your arm, into your legs, into your calf. And Kulabdam does have a killer calf kick. Just know he will leave you blue after 3.
Yeah.
After that's 3, your leg feels like I don't want to be here.
You don't want to fight anymore.
Can John Lineker get it done here? I'm not like brother guy said. You're fighting with friends. We really bet against Brazil, but in this fight, it does seem like they stacked it against him here. But if he does come out here with a victory, I think it's a statement victory. It puts him right into title contention, and he is a new fighter to Muay Thai. So, like I think a name like Kulabdam can go a very long way because of how highly we rank Kulabdam in the Muay Thai space. Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, let us know what you think.
That's a fact. I think it's safe to say that this is. I think it's safe to say that this is a fight to go into the title contention after this. Winner here definitely gets himself into that position because I think Nabil Anane is gonna fight against Nico Carrillo. That's number 1 contender in this fight because Nico was gonna fight against Super League for the title, and then obviously Cameron Nabati, who I thought should have actually gotten the fight against Super League, not Nabil. I'm back.
We'll see. Yeah.
I'm back.
You there? We here.
Yeah.
Now, but to take us forward, we have a atomweight fight for the championship. We have Denise Zamboga versus Iona Rezana. Both fighters coming in looking good. Just to give a bit of context, Denise, 27 years old, 6-2 within the ONE Championship space. She wins by the last fight she fought against Noelle Grandjean. She won by unanimous decision. She beat Julie Mazaba by unanimous decision. The only loss she has is against Ham Sohei. So she is well in her place to be fighting for the title. She comes up against a Ukrainian beast, new to the ONE Championship. Her record is 1-1 at the moment. She's won by sub. She beat Stamp in her first fight. If you know anything about ONE Championship, you must know Stamp. She is a global superstar, and to be within your first fight winning, you must be a serious contender. But don't get it twisted, ladies and gentlemen. She has lost to Stamp by split decision, which means she fought the full distance, and to go toe to toe with a current champion within the ONE Championship space, your stock has to be high. So don't be fooled. This is a third fight in the ONE Championship, and she is fighting for interim title. So she comes with credentials. But Brother Gaia, give us a bit more how you see this one's going to go.
Yeah. No, absolutely. She does come with good credentials. I mean, she's well known around the world for wrestling and grappling prowess. This is Aliona, by the way, that I'm speaking about. I will also say this, not to take away from a victory over Stamp, but that was Stamp's first fight in MMA at the time. Coming from Muay Thai and kickboxing into MMA. Didn't have any grappling understanding, and then she got tapped out. Because in the second fight, Stamp looked like a very different fighter and completely outclassed Aliona. Whereas Denise Zamboanga, I've been following Denise. I'm a big fan of her style. She's a go-getter. Doesn't have that much finishes to her name, but she really does know how to make people look like they lost against her, because she's got a lot of aggression when she goes forward. She can take you down at wall. She can piece you up on the feet if she wants to. And I mean, to beat someone like Julie Mazababa, to beat someone like that is not easy, because Julie is also a go-getter. And then the only loss, like you mentioned, against Amsuhi, take nothing away from those losses, because Amsuhi is also an absolute legend in the ONE Championship. So this fight, I think both women are well deserved to be fighting for the title at this time, considering that Stamp Felix is still currently injured and on her way back only now. So which means that might take a while. And also Stamp is a 3-sport champion, so the only fighter to do that. In which kind of speaks to why I say like these two ladies are actually top class, because they are next in line. But how do I think this fight's going to play out? I'm going to tip it towards Denise. I think Denise is coming on with the hottest streak right now. She's got the momentum on her side. She's only like an inch or two taller than Aliona. Aliona really only has a very good grappling game. Her striking is not that amazing. So I think if she can't take Denise down, then Aliona is going to be fighting on the back foot for the majority of the fight. And we could see Denise winning this fight by decision, maybe 3 or 4 rounds to either 3 rounds to 2 or 4 rounds to 1. But I think Denise is going to be the one that's going to navigate and dictate the pace of this fight. Might be difficult the first 2 rounds because that's where Aliona is going to be very strong, very fit, very fresh. Look to use her grappling. But Denise is no slouch when it comes to the grappling as well. She might even welcome the grappling department on, and then we get to see a very good grappling match here. But I think Denise can box better. I think she's a little bit taller, like I said. So I'm gonna go Denise Zambawanga to get the interim strap in this fight. Like I say, she's gonna win the fight by unanimous decision, and then look to fight against Stamp in the future.
I tend to agree with you there, brother guy. I think Denise is one thing that I'm new to the ONE Championship world, but yeah. I've watched a couple of fights, and normally when a fighter can go the distance, just know they've been through a war. It's not like I've watched other MMA promotions, and generally, like, if the fight goes to decision, you're like, oh, okay, cool, like that was an okay fight. When you watch fights go to decision in the ONE Championship, just know they have been through war. They've been to hell and back. Every fighter is looking for a finish. Every fighter has a killer instinct. And for Denise to be almost unfinishable shows that she's willing to grit it out, bite down on a mouthpiece, and let's see if you say who you say you are. If you say I can finish you, show me what you have. And I agree with you, brother guy. I think just Denise Zambawanga is somebody that I see is gonna have a great career. I think she's very gritty. I think she's not fearful of anything. At the moment, I do think that she lacks a bit of experience, but I think that her full MMA game is well-rounded. I think she just needs to get fight after fight after fight, and you will see her turn into somebody like Stamp, who's a juggernaut within the space. And hey, man, if you disagree, please let us know in the comments why you disagree.
We'd love to hear your thoughts. I think a good comparison could be that Denise Zambawanga is like the Jackie Boontan of the MMA in ONE Championship. You know what I mean? Because Jackie Boontan was also like this phenomenal kickboxer, but just slightly was just out of reach. And then when she fought Denise Mixon, she was like, now I'm here. Now I'm showing you that I am the dog. I think Denise is literally just one fight away of doing the same thing.
I think as you watch a fighter grow, especially when they're young, you'll see the one fight that everything just clicks. And every fighter has their time, and you just need to time your prime perfectly where you're fighting the hardest competition. And Denise might just be, like brother Guy says, a fight away where everything just clicks and she turns into the juggernaut. And once she turns into the juggernaut, she welcomes all fighters. And let's see if you can solve this Rubik's Cube. Because if you can stand, I can stand. If you want to go to the ground, I can go to the ground. If you want to clinch, I have elbows with your name on it. So
that's a style.
We could be seeing that fight for Denise here. Please tune in. The ladies will put on a definite show for you.
Absolutely.
But then to keep us rolling, we have Luke Lessie and against Cody Jerome. Fighting in featherweight of the Muay Thai. Just to give a bit of context to both fighters, Luke, 28 years old, the record in the ONE Championship is 2-1, 1 win by unanimous decision, split decision. Apologies. And then he has a TKO in his last fight. He's a bit on a rocky road, but he's also fought Smoking
the best guys.
Joe. Smoking Joe and like Nango, both fighters that have credentials like Nangao and Smoking Joe, a loss against them is there's nothing to be ashamed about, because they are the cream of the crop. And if you can go toe to toe with them, that just shows that you belong in the space. But he comes against a debutant in Cody Jerome, who's won the road to the ONE Canada tournament. So he has a bit of inexperience on his side, but you never know. Sometimes the younger you are and the more green you are, the more you don't have to follow the plot, the more you don't have to give a respect to the next fighter. So I'm sure Cody Jerome is looking at Luke and he's like, cool, I respect that you went against Smoking Joe, but I might offer you something that you haven't seen before. How do you see this one going, Rossa?
Yeah, I like the way you described it there about Cody Jerome. It's exactly that. And I actually watched his interview yesterday with Nick Atkin at the Bangkok Post, and he was very like confident in what he was saying. He was like, "Look, all respect to Luke Lissay. He's fought the best guys. He's a talented fighter. He was one fighter. We had to beat Pampara Kayate. He would have probably gotten the title shot, and he lost that fight against Pampara. I think Pampara is currently ranked number 2 or 1, number 2, I think, in this division. Number 2 or 3, I think, in this division. It's another correction there. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
But like you mentioned, Smoking Joe Natawat is top team of the crop, and Luke Lissay fought against him, and that was a fantastic fight. In fact, Luke actually went very toe to toe with him. I think it only went when it got to the latter rounds when Smoking Joe was like, "Right now, I'm going to take control of this fight and piece you up," and he did exactly that. So Cody Jerome, I'm not too familiar with his exact style. I don't know what his go-to moves are, what his setups are. I'm not sure what that is. So like you say, I'm going to go off the fact that he's younger. He's going to come in here with vibrance because it's his debut, so he wants to put on a show. But boy, did the ONE Championship give him a difficult matchup for his debut, because Luke Lissay is no joke. This dude is no joke. He's only fought against the highest ranking guys. I know it only shows the 3 fights in the ONE Championship, but you can go check him out outside of ONE Championship. Luke Lissay is a dog. He's an absolute dog. He's tall, he's quick, he's super creative. He fights from different angles, and he's the kind of guy that doesn't stop moving forward. He's a go-getter. Put pedal to the metal. He stays on the gas, and he doesn't give anyone a chance. That's what I'm saying. When he lost against Pampara and Smoking Joe, it was like, when he lost against Smoking Joe, it was like, okay, I understand, Smoking Joe, you know. But the Pampara fight, he was actually winning that fight, and then he just got knocked out. He actually dropped Pampara, and I was like, oh no. Then he got dropped, and I was like, no ways. So that was actually a wild fight. Go check it out if you want to check out more about Luke Lissay. But I think the fight's going to play out. I'm going to have to go with my boy Luke. I think he's the more creative. He's got more credentials. He's got more experience. He's fought the best guys. He's fought so many different styles of Muay Thai that it's hard to kind of say what you do to beat him. Smoking Joe beat him because Smoking Joe was just more relentless than he was. Smoking Joe was one that was going forward the whole time, and he put Luke on his back foot. Pampara got the lucky shot and dropped him, and that's how he got the fight done. Against Eddie Abasolo didn't stand a chance against Luke. So as I'm saying, like, Luke has got that kind of style where you really have to clip him. You really have to put him to sleep to beat him. Otherwise, if you don't put him to sleep, you can bet every second of the fight he's gonna stay on you. He's gonna stay on you the whole time. So Cody's in for a massive debut fight here, and I hope that he stands tall and he stands nice toe to toe, and make sure that everyone that's gonna watch this fight gets to remember the name Cody Jerome, whether he wins or lose. But I think he's gonna lose though. I think Luke's going to be the one that's going to be too good for him.
Just to give a bit of context about Cody Jerome, he's a Canadian fighter. From the articles that I've read, it says that he has explosive power. He's technically precise, and he's relentless in the way he drives forward on forward pressure. He says that he has the art of the 8 limbs.
Yes.
We yet to see it, but if somebody is claiming to have the art of the 8 limbs, that means he can throw the elbows, he can throw the knees. He's not scared of anything that you might be throwing. Like Brother Guy said, Luke, you need to have a precision type mindset. It says that Cody does. So I think that's what the matchmakers has looked at. They looked at Mr. Cody Jerome. They said, hey, you look like you understand timing, you understand the button to hit. And Mr. Luke, we've seen you go to war. And I think matchmakers looked at this fight and said we could be in for a 1 a one and
Yeah.
done, or we might be
Possible.
going to decision, and we might just see a fight of the night contender.
Yeah, that's
This-
very true, actually. Sorry, Babu. That's
Please
very
look out.
true.
Look out, sir. Look out. We could
Yeah.
be on the sleeping side here.
Yo, I never thought about it actually until you said it now. That is potentially fight of the night right there. Lucas saying Jerome. Keep a lookout for that one.
And I agree with you, brother guy. Like Mr. Cody Jerome, his first fight in the one championship. I'm sure even if you take a loss, please don't be discouraged. Just make sure that you're fighting for your last name, that your last name is remembered in the space. So when somebody says Jerome, the first thing that comes to their mind is Cody, that guy. Oh, I remember that fight.
Yeah.
Like with Mr. Smoking Joe, you don't have to watch all his fights, but we know his name carries all the weight, and you just have to watch one or two fights, and you're like, I get it.
Yeah.
Fair.
Super true. Super true, bruh.
And I'll move it along for us. Next up we have a grappling, submission grappling. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not versed in submission grappling, I know it doesn't sound like the most exciting thing, but I promise you, it's one of the most exhilarating sporting events that you can watch. And if you ask any fighter in the world, what is the worst way to lose? That is to get strangled. To know that somebody has strangled you. They could have taken your life away from you. Just understand, when you get knocked out, it could be a lucky shot. It could be just on the right button of yours. But when you get strangled out, it's just because, oh, brother, the mercy rule is a real thing. It's a real thing in that chip. Yeah. They let you live. They could have taken your arm. You could have been armless. But just moving into our submission grappling, we have Tommy Lineker. He's 30 years old. His record in one championship is 2-2. He's won by sub. He's lost to Cade Retolo. If you know the Retolo name, you know that it carries weight. He's beat Yuli Goziv by submission, obviously. And then on the other side, we have Dante Leon. He's 29 years old. His record in the UFC, in the one championship, is 1-0. He's beat Bruce Pucci. And you know, he might not be young in age, but he's young in the one space. So we're looking to see more of him. Match up against Tommy. We've seen a bit of him. Rossa, how do you think this one's looking?
Very intriguing matchup. Difficult to choose, to be honest with you. I'm being honest, because I watched Tommy Lineker for a while actually, and he's a former world champion, IDCC, I think it is, or one of those jiu-jitsu world championships. He's won it twice already. And like you mentioned, he only lost to Cade Retolo twice. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. Cade Retolo is the best at the moment. Cade and Tai are still like unbeatable as it stands, even though I think Tai did lose once to Dante. I think Dante Leone actually beat him once, if I'm not mistaken. So, but that was obviously outside of the one championship. So coming into this fight, Dante actually had his debut in the one championship in December. I think it was one of either fight night or it was a Friday fight event. He won that one, obviously, against Bruno Pucci, like you mentioned. Tapped him out really nicely. And Dante, what I think he has is his confidence. He's big. He's really big, actually, for this weight division. Strong. But so is Tommy Lineker. I think the winner of this fight here is definitely going to be putting themselves in the position to fight for the title. That may take a while, because I watched both these guys' interviews before the fight yesterday. And both Tommy and Dante has mentioned that they're not in a rush to go and fight Cade for the title, just because Cade is actually competing in MMA right now. And they respect that. They don't want to force him to fight and to defend the title when the man is busy fighting in MMA. But if Cade's going to continue to do that, he's going to have to make a decision, because he can't hold up this division in grappling. He's going to have to let these two guys fight for something. So I would have actually, if I was one championship, I would have made this fight an interim title fight, or at least the winner is guaranteed a title shot, because they are the two best at the moment, and they are the two next in line. So Tommy has fought against Cade twice. You know what it's like. He's been in there with the strongest guys. Dante's fought the other Retolo to win in Thai. So I think both of them have got the attributes to beat each other. In fact, they fought before. I think Tommy and Dante has fought before in another tournament once, and Tommy actually won that fight with a broken arm. Dante broke his arm, and Tommy still won the fight. He still won the fight, even though his arm was broken. So I'm excited to see if there's going to be any broken limbs in this one. I wouldn't be surprised if one of these guys could come out of the fight with a broken arm or a broken leg or dislocated knee or something like that, because both of the gentlemen have a habit, and a very nasty habit, of destroying their opponents. Like Babu has said, if there was no mercy rule or no referee, these guys would kill people. That's just how intense these submissions are. So I want to go with Tommy, because I've seen him do more, but I think Dante's coming into this fight with a little bit more momentum. He's also fought more. Tommy Langaker has been on a little bit of a break as it stands. So let's see if the ring rust is going to be the thing that's going to cause Tommy to lose, or is the momentum on Dante's side going to be the one that's going to cause him to win? I'm going to say Dante Leon is going to win the fight by submission, obviously. Not by decision, by submission.
I'm on the other side. I think
it's hard to bet against him.
Tommy has, like you said, Tommy's been in there with Dante. It might not have been under the one banner, but once you're inside there with somebody, especially in submission grappling, like you feel their power, you feel how their body moves, you know what to expect, and once you know what to expect, nothing can really surprise you unless Dante Leons has been working on new submissions, has been working on new ways of setting up anything. I think Tommy might just have his number. I think Tommy carries a bucket full of experience. He's been in there with these guys. He's been on the circuit for way too long. Unless you're going to show me something new, I've seen it before. I know what you're looking for. If you're pulling on my left shoulder, I know to block with my right. I know how you're trying to set me up. And I don't know if Tommy gets the finish, but I do think Tommy will have Dante in a bit of trouble with throwing up anything that Dante might not be expecting, that he might not have seen in the first fight. And once you in there with a black belt and somebody that's been in a wealth of matchups, especially in grappling, you learn that there's levels to this. You learn quickly and swiftly that there's levels to this, because you might see an opening for an armbar, but that opening is a trap. You do not take it at all. Once you grab that arm, GG's for your leg, buddy.
Done,
They might just pop your whole kneecap off. You might not have a leg no more. And that's the thing about submission grappling. It's very bloodthirsty. Once they do have submissions locked in, like you've seen like Brother Guy have said, Tommy's been in there with a broken arm, and he said, "Hey, I'm good to go. We don't need to stop nothing." So I do believe in Tommy's grit and determination, and I believe in the experience, and I think he gets it done.
Yeah, look, again, it's a difficult thing to bet against Tommy, and I think Tommy's also slightly bigger. They're fighting at 180. They were supposed to fight at 170. They're fighting at 180 because I think this is the weight that Tommy wanted to do it at, or he was unable to make the 170, so now they're doing it at 180. Tommy is slightly bigger than Dante. He's wider as well. So, but I'm gonna see. I think Dante he left a good impression on me after his debut. I was like, okay, you can see why the ONE Championship went to go and get this man in contract, because they needed a shake up, and the Rotolo twins needed someone new to fight, someone that can actually threaten them. And Mikey Musumeci was supposed to be that guy, but Mikey was too small. I think Dante Leon is definitely because he matches their weight easily. He matches Cade and Ty's weight really easily. So I think the ONE Championship is on a mission here by bringing Dante into the tournament, bringing him into the organization.
We could see a champion on our hands here, ladies and gentlemen, or at least a contender. So I wish Dante all the best of luck. I'm not on your side though. I do believe Tommy's going to get the job done. But if you do get the job done, a hell of a scalp on your mantle, and we could be seeing something brewing. Submission grappling. It does happen quite often. So maybe later in the year we could be hearing Dante's name again. But to move us forward, we're going into a strawweight MMA. Tatsu Wada versus Tatsumitsu. Apologies. Tatsumitsu Wada against Sazar Zirkov from Uzbekistan. Zakirov. Moorse name. Just to give a bit of context here, we have Tatsumitsu Wada. He's a bit in age, but don't worry about that. He's 36 years old. His record in the ONE Championship is 6-5, 2 wins via sub. He's beat Zai Wei by unanimous decision in his last fight. Fought against the GOAT, Mighty Mouse. He's fought against Reese McLaren as well as Danny
Kinghad. Yes.
I just had a brain fart. My bad. All the fighters that I've mentioned, if you've seen their fights, they push the pace. They've all have serious arsenals to them, and for Wada to go the distance with him, you never know. On the other side, we have Zirkov. He's 21 years old. He's 3-0. He's won 2 by TKO. He in his last fight, he KO'd Honda, and it was a fight to watch definitely. Brother Gaia, how are we feeling about this? A youngster versus an experienced man.
Yes, in fact, it's exactly that kind of fight. You got the youth and vibrance of Sazar Zakirov taking on obviously the experience of Tatsumitsu Wada. And Mighty Mouse speaks very highly of Tatsumitsu Wada, by the way. Even now to this day, Mighty Mouse makes a lot of differences to that fight. I think it's one of Mighty Mouse's best preparations for fights in his career. And he speaks very highly of Tatsumitsu, because Tatsumitsu Wada actually really put the pace on him. But granted, that was literally 3 years ago, I think, when they fought. Tatsumitsu Wada now, he's of age, like you say, he's 36 years old. How do I think the fight's going to play out? I got the strong feeling that this fight's going to go down to a grappling match, to be quite honest with you. I don't think neither of these guys are going to want to stand, because both of them are wrestlers by trade. That's what they do first and foremost before they become strikers. I do think that Zakirov's got better hands than Tatsumitsu, but I do think Tatsumitsu has got experience. He can tap people out really easily. He's got very, very good ground game. Like a lot of the Japanese wrestlers, they are very, very powerful. Hiromasa is also one of the guys who he was a fantastic wrestler. He beat Kaya Sakura. We don't know Kaya Sakura's in the UFC right now. So Tatsumitsu Wada has fought against most of those guys and held his own. So he's definitely going to have the experience here. I think this is his first fight in a year and a half, I think, or 2 years. So I'm always worried about fighters that take such a long break and then they come back. It's like, how are you going to fare? You know what I mean? But I do think that fighting against Zakirov, taking nothing away from Zakirov, I do think that it's a good tune-up matchup for Tatsumitsu Wada as a comeback fight. I think if Tatsumitsu Wada had to fight anyone else, maybe like Reese McLaren, for example, I think he loses. But he's fighting against someone who's also green. And so both guys are kind of looking for this matchup for both of them, because it's a tune-up fight for Tatsumitsu. It's also if Sazar Zakirov wins this fight, then imagine what it does for his career. He beat someone that's fought against Mighty Mouse, McLaren, Danny Kinghad, the who's who. So it'll be a good feather in Zakirov's cap if he gets this job done. I think his best keys to victory is to keep it standing. I think he can outstrike Tatsumitsu, but I do think that if he gets taken down, it's going to be a war of nutrition there, and whoever lasts the longest is probably going to be the winner. And Tatsumitsu Wada's grappling is difficult to fight against. I don't think the fight's going to go down. I think Tatsumitsu Wada is going to win the fight by 3 rounds, 3-round decision. Experience.
Normally, if you've been watching us for a while, I do like to be on the side of experience, just because I think that nothing can give you that experience. You need time in the octagon, in the ring. That all adds to you. Whatever a young buck can show you, you've seen it before. You know how to navigate it. I do think the long layoff from Tatsumitsu is something that's a bit concerning, especially when you up there in age. I think the older you get, the more warm up you need to get to get the limbs flowing. Please don't guess my age, because I'm not that old. But I'm just speaking from what I've heard. As far as Zakirov, he's 21 years old. He's riding a 3-0 fight, fighting streak. I think you know, when you're young, you just have that cloak of invincibility in your head. You know nothing can hurt you. You just think that you at the peak of your powers until you run up against like a final boss. But I don't think Tatsumitsu is that final boss. I think that the layoff is something that counts against him. I think if Tatsumitsu was more active, I would have gone with him. I just think Zarkov, he's 21 years old. He's riding a 3-fight win streak. He has the mindset of having that cloak of invincibility. I think he's just gonna push forward. He might just stand Tatsumitsu with something, and he will have that killing instinct to put away the fight. So I'm rooting on the side of inexperience here. This might just be one and done here.
Yo, madness. Let us know in the comments, please, gentlemen. I have difficulty betting against Japan as well. I have a big affinity for Japanese fighters and just the culture in a whole. But that's not why I'm saying Tatsumitsu is gonna win. I think Tatsumitsu is gonna use that experience really well in this fight. But let's see. I mean, Sanzo is a go-getter. He's spacey. He's a firecracker. So let's see how this fight plays out.
You never know. It is in MMA, so anything can happen. Anything can happen. But to move us forward, we have a Bantamweight Muay Thai fight. We have Rambo Lick versus Param Gitrachi. Both fighters are very, very young. But don't get it twisted. They do come with a bit of experience. I'll give you a bit of insight. Rambo Lick, 21 years old, 4-2 in ONE Championship. He's a KO finisher. He has a 50% finisher rate. He's beat Craig Coakley by unanimous decision in his last fight, and he's fought against Sunasen and won by unanimous decision.
Big fight.
On the other side, we have Mr. Giri. He's 6-0. He's 1-4 by KO. He has a 67% finisher rate. He's beat George Makitsivi by KO in his last fight. Matsukitsi. I knew I was off there, but in his last fight, he's fought Yarapu, and he's won by unanimous decision. Both fighters are a bit young by being 21 years old, but they both have 6 fights. They both have a fairly high finisher rate, so we know they're gonna go toe to toe. How do you see this one going, brother Gaia?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm having a hard time picking a winner, to be honest with you. The way you just described it now, and I've watched both these guys fight, and their styles are almost identical. It's a very similar style. I think Param is a little bit quicker, but they got exactly the same kind of attributes and style. And I think Rambo Lick has maybe got a little bit more of the power advantage. I think he throws more kicks than Param, but I think Param, he's not going to be discouraged by that at all. I want to quickly go back to the one fight you mentioned from Param Garati. He fought against Yodputpa. Yodputpa is a knockout specialist. The dude's built like a fucking tank. Excuse my language. He's built like a brick. And for Param to go and beat him by unanimous decision speaks volumes. But I do think Rambo Lick has got a little bit more. One thing he can say that he has over Param Garati is that he's got more high profile. He's fought more high profile opponents. You know what I mean? And that does count for something. But they're both 21. They both look to finish people. They both got pacey kinds of fight. Both want to be on the forward pressure. I do think Rambo Lick is better in the clinch than Param. But it all depends if he can actually get there first. Because like I said, Param is faster than him. I don't think the fight's going to end. Whew. I would be very surprised if the fight went to decision, to be honest with you. Because both guys, like you mentioned, they got high finishing rates, so they both look for knockouts. Yo, I don't want to give a prediction here because it's hard to see, Babu. It's hard for me to see how the fight's going to end.
I'm here on Param's side. I'm here on Param's side. I want to see the undefeated streak continue.
Me too. And also, Rambo Lick is one of my championship's golden boys. Like, they gave this man a contract. very quickly. He got the contract before Kulabdam, and Kulabdam was winning fights, bro. He's been fighting people left, right, and center. But Rambo Lek got the contact first, which is it speaks volumes to what the ONE Championship is doing for this fighter. He's definitely a poster boy for them. So I'm gonna go with Param as well. I think the undefeated stick's gonna be something that he's gonna want to keep. And I think he's gonna be a bit too fast for Rambo Lek to actually catch him into a clinch or even just land something massive. Rambo's obviously going to try and throw body kicks to start his fight off, which he does all the time. But I think Param's going to be able to be fast enough and slick enough to be able to move out of that way and stay on top. I mean, he looks hungry, dude. I watched the interview yesterday. He looks very, very hungry for this fight. So let's see. I think I'm going to go with what you say, Babu, on this one and go with Param Karate to get the job done.
Hey, I just want to see the continued undefeated streak continue and see him grow and grow and grow. But I do think both fighters, like brother guy said, it's very hard to choose. They have such similar fighting styles. They both have a will to win. They both try and get the finish best as possible. This is one of those fights. If you're tuning in early, this is worth watching because both fighters will put on a show for you. Both fighters will show you why you need to be a fan of the ONE Championship.
Oh, one more thing, Babu, before you continue.
Yeah?
Sorry. One more thing. It's also a technically a ranked match, Bantamweight Muay Thai. So it's not a catchweight. No one's trying to get into the division. This is a ranked match. The winner here is going to climb that rankings. You know what I mean? And continue to call out more opponents. So, yeah, I think tune in for that one. And it's nice and early as well. So, good fight.
Yeah. And then just to... like the last couple of fights, we'll just brush over. We have Mr. Aaron Konate against brother.
I'll try it for you now. It's Ink Ogil Baturku.
Ink Ogil Bartuku.
Yeah.
And if you had to guess where this man's from, you would guess spot on because he is from Mongolia. He has the most Mongolian face you will see. And on the other side, we have Mr. Aaron. He's from Ecuador. He has that good looks like an Ecuadorian. Sometimes you look at him like, why are you fighting, guy?
Yeah.
Like modeling is not a thing for you, sir. But other guy, how do you see that one? Just giving us a quick run through.
Quick synopsis. Yeah. I think Aaron Konate or Kanate is how you want to say it because it's not French. He's pacey, fast, good boxing, got a lot of power. But I do think that Ink Orgul Bartarku is a relentless wrestler, and a lot of the Mongolians fight that way. By the way, they have this good style of. No, I would like to associate the Dagestani or any of the Russian region kind of fighters from Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, any of them. We associate them with one of those wrestling styles that's unbeatable. I think the same thing can say about the Mongolian guys. And one thing also that they have, I do think they have over the Russian fighters, is the durability and the conditioning. They don't really get tired and they don't really get knocked out that often. They're scary to fight against. And his wrestling style is one of those things where once he actually gets you down, you're probably not going to get back up. So I do think that Baturku is probably going to, if he can survive the onslaught in that first round, I think he can get Aaron down and beat him by maybe even submitting him round 2 or 3.
I will be on the side of experience here. I'm gonna say I'll give the Mongolian Superman.
Yeah.
Bartuku. I think I'll give him the. If I had to choose, I'd choose him. I think he just
the Superman.
He carries a bit of. Wait, Mongolian Superman, bro. Look at this man. Man, balls like Superman. Come on. But he carries the experience. He's 36 years old. I just think he like, especially with a young buck, like sometimes you step in the young buck will show you a bit of pressure up front, but round 2 and 3 you have to show the young buck like, hey, you can be the bull and I'll be the matador for you. I'll show you like how I take you around this ring. So I'll go with the Mongolian Superman, yeah.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's safe to say It's hard to bet against Mongolian fighters, dude. They are scary.
But then just to take us into the second fight of the night, which would be Chi Rihu versus Sawada against Meng Bao. It's Japan versus China, so both in rivalry, both in storyline. How do we see this one going? It's an atomweight MMA fight. What do you say, brother Gaia?
Again, excited for fights that are in the divisions. Obviously, like, there can be some movement in the divisions when they fight like this. This is gonna be experience versus the inexperienced. Meng Bao has got the experience in the ONE Championship. She's fought the who's who, Yakamura. She's been in there with literally all the best women, and she's got good knockout power. She's got a really good knockout power. Not the greatest when it comes to the wrestling department. She has taken losses when someone has taken her down and submitted her, but she does have really good knockout power. Chihiro Sawada, on the other hand, is the complete opposite of that. She's a really good grappler. She loves to wrestle, loves to go for submissions. That's her game. So we're obviously going to see stylistically a matchup between the two women. Who's going to implement their game plan first? Meng Bao is obviously going to try and stand, not go to the ground, and rely on her boxing combinations. Whereas Chihiro is going to rely on her grappling prowess to get the fight to the ground and win by submission. I always like to tip the fight to the fighter who's got grappling, because grappling is a whole different world when you go down there. And the one who can wrestle usually has the advantage, but you have to get the person down first. If Meng Bao, if she can sprawl, keep the distance there, use her jabs, use her teeps, set up her right hand, I can see her winning the fight by maybe even knocking out Chihiro Sawada. But if Chihiro Sawada takes her down, that's the end of the fight right there. I think Chihiro Sawada is going to probably tap Meng Bao out. But I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm going to say Meng Bao is going to win the fight by decision.
I am a Meng Bao fan. I've seen a couple of fights. She's an exciting fighter. She has all the attributes on the feet. I think she lacks a bit on the ground game, like Brother Guy has stated. I think the last time out, she fought another Japanese fighter, and unfortunately, she got strangled. But neither here nor there. Yes, and neither here nor there. I know that Chatsiru is riding a 3-fight win streak. I'm sure she's hyped. I'm sure she's definitely watched up Meng Bao's previous fight and saw some gaps that she can exploit. And as much as I am a fan of Meng Bao, I just can't. I don't know if she's made the leaps and bounds in growth in that ground game.
That's a fair question.
In that ground game, and I think Sawada is just gonna, unfortunately, strangle her again. I say that with a heavy heart, guys. I say that with a heavy heart.
Yeah, you look so sad when you said it now. It's kind of funny.
I am a fan, and sometimes I just need to be more realistic with the way I speak. If you do watch Fighting with Friends, I'll always tell you I do come with a biased opinion every now and then. But every now and then, I'm able to be a neutral. And then I'll take us into the first fight of the night, which is Kulabdam Sor against Dmitry Kovtan. I'll just give a bit of context. It is the first fight of the night. It is going to be a banger, I promise you. I'll guarantee it will be a banger. Kulabdam comes in here, 28 years old. His record is 6-2. He's won 3 by KO, 1 by TKO. He's lost to Kulabdam in his last fight via KO. But if you did watch the fight, he was pushing the pace, and unfortunately, it was a matter of seconds and his lights were turned out. But that's neither here nor there. He has lost to Cameron Nabati, who's the cream of the crop. If you watch him, he's one of the fighters that we at Fighting with Friends are fully behind, and we are on the train. We believe in Cameron Nabati to be a champion. And then on the other side, we have Dmitry. Dmitry is 27 years old. He is a bit green in the ONE Championship face, but don't get it twisted. He is 1-1. He's lost to Nong Chai in his last fight, but he's also beat Ferrari by unanimous decision before that. And if you if you do watch ONE Championship, both fighters that Dimitri has fought do come with names. So, ladies and gentlemen, please do look out for this fight. It is the first fight of the night, and I'll hand it to Brother Guy just to give us a bit of insight on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Both these guys got a very good style, and I thought ONE Championship did a fantastic job in making this fight as the curtain raiser for the entire event, because Sua Black carries so many fans, not only in Asia or Southeast Asia, but around the world, that people know Sua Black. He's like, when I remember when 81st looked at Sua Black, he was like, who is this, bro? Why is he built like that? He's like built like he's made in a lab, bro. His legs are insanely huge. Whereas Dimitri on the other side, he's not built as like chiseled, but Dimitri's got a fantastic style. Very similar to Gamlan Nabati, actually. He's got a, very bouncy style, very front foot forward, moves very quickly. I like the way he moves, actually. He's got fantastic footwork. Whereas Sua Black, he's got a lot of power in his strikes. But Sua Black has a tendency to almost overextend on his strikes, because he throws so much power in his kicks, so much power in his left hand, and he leaves himself kind of open. That's how he got knocked out by Kulabdum, by the way, because he left himself open after overextending. In fact, whenever I watch Sua Black lose because of that, because of overextending. So I think if he can come into this fight a little bit more patient, because he's fighting against someone that's going to move a hell of a lot. So what Sua Black's going to have to do in this fight, for me, he's going to have to chop the legs. His priority is not going to be headhunting here. Priority is kick the calves of Dimitri. Kick his calves as much as you can in that first round. Take away his base. Because then what happens is he's going to become a stationary target now in the second and third round. He's not going to move as much, which will then open up those heavy shots, body kicks, uppercuts, elbows, go for the clinch. But that's going to be difficult. It's easier said than done, because Dimitri doesn't allow opponents to catch him that easily. So I'm intrigued. It's all about, if Sua Black has got patience, he wins this fight hands down. But if he doesn't practice his patience, I think he's going to lose the fight.
I tend to agree. I think Super Black is somebody that I have watched before. I've watched the Kulabdum fight, and I thought he was winning that fight. And he's uber aggressive. He pushes the pace. He has fought some top contenders, and it's just about learning, like Brother Guy said. It's just about learning. What can you take from this and that fight? And one thing that you need to take, especially if you're in the fighting realm, is can I pick and choose my moments?
Yes.
And like Mr. Dimitri, he's also been in there with some top names. He's unfortunately found himself as 1-1, but he could be looking at Super Black as a stepping stone into being a featured fighter. He might be opening the card this week, but in 3 weeks' time, he might be closing the card. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of being here within the ONE Championship. You fight often, you stay active, you climb the ranks quickly. So I'm excited to see this as an opening fight. We will be there. We will be
there. Nicely said, Babu.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is our time for this week. But if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like, comment, leave a comment, because we always look at the comment section. And we've broken down, me and Brother Guy have sat on the fence, on the opposite side of the fence, here and there. So let us know who you back. Let us know what you feeling, how you feeling. And you might not catch us this weekend, but you will catch us next week for the recap.
Yes, sir. Thank you for watching, gentlemen. Let me close this out with a fantastic close-up of Bible.